Alex here. Today we're going to talk about degree hacking in general, specifically at Western Governors University, how you can get a bachelor degree in under a year. So I'll talk about that. I'll go through some general concepts and some general tips how you can degree hack basically any of these degrees and how you can finish almost all of these in under a year if you truly wanted to. So we'll go through what ACE credits are. We'll go through how you can kind of accelerate ACE credits. We'll go through how you can accelerate courses at WGU. Basically, I'll give you like a full roadmap. A lot of this stuff is things you have heard before, but I will try to dive into some new aspects and maybe some new tips as well. So we'll go over that. And finally, I've made two WGU Facebook groups. I've been saying I will be doing this a long time now, and I've decided to finally do it. I've made two WGU Facebook groups. One is called WGU Degree Hacking, so you guys can join that down below in the description, and I might put it in the pinned comment as well. So WGU Degree Hacking. So if you guys are on Facebook, it's very difficult for me to reply to emails to you guys because I'm very busy, but if there's like a Facebook group, I can do my best to reply to you guys. Also, you guys can all help each other out as well. So I would love, there is other Facebook groups, but I would like to create a Facebook group where it becomes quite large and we have a lot of good resources. We can all come up with degree hacking tips for each other. So I would love to build that community with you guys. And then the other WGU Facebook group is the Computer Science Master's Degree. And I have actually heard this might be announced as early as Monday. Somebody on Reddit, just some random person, is like, hey, my program mentor leaked to me that the computer science degree is going to be announced Monday morning or Monday afternoon. So if that is true, I will try to make a video in real time and upload it the same day because a WGU Computer Science Master's degree is huge. And I will do that degree with you guys. So basically, sign up for that group if you're interested in the Computer Science Master's degree. So you can join one group or the other or both. Now, step number one to accelerating your bachelor degree and degree hacking at WGU. And now you don't have to do this with every degree. I have heard of some people getting the marketing degree done in 6 months, although that would still be quite difficult. I always recommend ACE credits, American Council of Education. So a lot of you who don't know what ACE credits are, these are credits you can do at places like study.com. And at study.com, you can do courses really fast. So you sign up there, and I have a discount, 30% off for your first 3 months, which will save you hundreds of dollars if you want to take advantage of that. Study.com is especially helpful if you want to do a tech degree because they have the largest amount of tech classes by far out of any ACE credit website. You can take all the courses I have in my spreadsheet over at majormash.com, or you can also go to the WGU partner page or whatever resource you want to use. But I've streamlined it in my spreadsheets for you guys, and I'll be coming out with all new spreadsheets as well. If you want updated spreadsheets, I've made them look a little nicer, and I'm in the process of updating them currently. So basically, you'll go download that spreadsheet, and then you will go through the entire ACE credits and complete all of them. And then the certification part will be optional. Like if you really want to shorten your time at WGU completely, then you would do the certifications, but the certifications can take you up to like a month each. So it actually might be faster to just skip the certification part and just enroll at WGU. But if you don't want to risk paying 2 terms and you don't mind spending a little longer on your degree, then doing the certifications would be fine. Now, for example, we're in a spreadsheet here, and in this spreadsheet, I'm going to give you an example of how long you should take to complete the courses. Because sometimes, we tend to procrastinate, right? I'm guilty of it. I'm sure all of you are guilty of it. If you don't have structure, sometimes you'll just procrastinate a class. So if you want structure here, I can't give you a timeline for every specific class because we all move at different paces. But when it comes to the general education or business classes at study.com, I would highly recommend, and this goes for probably any ACE credit website, but study.com, I'd probably recommend like 3 days. Like really try to hustle and grind it out. Start to finish, you'd probably get it done in 3 days, any of those courses. So, and that doesn't include like the time they take to review your exam, like your proctored exam, because at study.com, there is proctored exam, but it's not live. It's just a recording, and then they review the recording afterwards. So Basically, from start to finish to the point you submit the final exam, about a 3-day process I would recommend. So you get 3 college credits in 3 days, which is absolutely amazing. Like I said, 99.5% of the population does not know about this method. They do not know how fast you can get a college degree with ACE credits. Now, with the tech classes and the lab classes, so tech classes and lab classes, like biology with lab, chemistry with lab, maybe a computer science class with a lab, like these classes will take a little longer. I would say the basic level computer science courses probably might take you about 5 days start to finish. More complex computer science courses that have a assignment might take you 7 to 8 days, perhaps even slightly longer. And then lab courses might take you 10, 11 days. So I think you can complete any study.com class though within 10, 11 days. This is if you have, 5 hours a day to hammer out school, just hammer it out. Now, how would you complete these classes fast? You might be like, okay, these quizzes are taking me forever. Really? Just think outside the box. Don't read everything unless you think it's really, really necessary. Kind of skim the reading as fast as you can. Take the quizzes open book. Okay, any of these platforms, you can take the quizzes open book. Any of these ACE credit platforms, you take it open book. There's, it's not proctored. I'm not saying, sit there and Google the answer. I'm just saying you can take it open book. You can read the study.com passage, which has all the information in it as you're taking the quiz. So you can really fly by each quiz within about 2 minutes if you really wanted to. So I didn't think that really needed to be said, but you can fly by each quiz in 2-3 minutes each if, you're doing it open book, basically. And this is how you can complete a course in 3-4 days. Does this mean you're not learning the information? No. If you're skimming the reading material, you are learning as you're quickly skimming that, okay? And also during the open book quizzes. One of the best ways I actually learn is by practice tests. Practice tests are not just to gauge your knowledge, guys. Practice tests in today's world is also, you learn. I learn from practice tests. I learn from quizzes. It's basically a practice test or a quiz. It says, hey, you got the wrong answer. And a lot of times it will give you feedback on why that's wrong. And if it doesn't give you feedback why that's wrong, you can also just go Google it why it's wrong. So either way, whether it gives you feedback or not, practice tests and quizzes are a way of learning. It's actually probably my favorite way of learning. It's like a fun way of learning. It's like a game, Sometimes I get bored just reading or watching a lecture. I'd rather engage in an activity. A practice test or a quiz is an activity, okay? You are learning as you're doing it, okay? Those are not, once again, they're open book. I choose it as a learning activity. Some people view practice tests and quizzes purely as a gauge of your skill and knowledge, when I don't view it that way. I view it as a way of learning, okay? So that's me. I also take WGU Practice Assessments open book as well. So let's get into the WGU portion now. I think I've covered ACE credits, a decent amount here. So WGU is the same way. Your program mentor will tell you not to take the practice assessment right away. I like taking the practice assessment right away. I like seeing what I got wrong and right. And whatever I got wrong, I'd like to go study why I got it wrong. I've also explained the WGU acceleration method in my How to Accelerate video, and perhaps I will make an update to that video as it's probably like 10 months old now, but it's still extremely relevant. Nothing has really changed from that video. So I'll probably leave a link to that video in the description. So in the WGU How to Accelerate video, I basically go over what you can do to accelerate the class. Basically, take the WGU test, the practice test, right away. Like I said, your program mentors are going to recommend against that. And some will highly recommend against it. Now, you don't have to take it right away. Whatever learning method is best for you is something you'll have to decide for yourself, right? A lot of these things are subjective. A lot of these things you have to decide what is best for your pace. I can't really, show you everything you have to decide for yourself what works best for you, if that makes any sense to you guys. So for me, what works best is taking the practice test right away. And I've shown you the method where on the practice test, if you study every single question and you study the category that question belongs into, you study the category all 4 answers belong to, on most, like 90% of WGU OAs, you'll probably pass the OA if you do that method. Like, you don't really have to touch the book or outside sources. If you do that method, there's a very high chance you can pass the OA, okay? WGU tries to make the practice test as relevant to the main test as possible. Now, you're not going to see any same questions. You're probably not even going to see like a similar question, but you're going to see questions from all the same categories from the practice test. I've explained in my How to Accelerate video, for example, on the accounting degree, if you get a question about FIFO method, you're not going to get a question about FIFO method on the main test if you got it on the practice test. But what could happen is you get a question about LIFO, right? So what WGU wants you to do is master each category those questions belong to. And if you can do that, you can pass the main test. Think of the practice test as a study guide, actually. Think of the practice test as a big study guide where you can cut a lot of time out. Like, you don't have to read the whole book. You can cut a lot of time out by a study guide, right? Study guides are helpful because they tell us exactly what to study, right? So study guides, you can even say, are kind of a cheat code. I don't think they're a cheat code, right? Like, they tell you exactly what you need to know. It cuts out all the filler, right? Let's think of a TV show or like an anime show specifically, right? Because anime shows have a ton of filler, right? There are websites that put together episode lists that cuts out all the filler, like episodes you don't need to watch, and it doesn't change the experience at all, right? So with WGU, by taking the practice test and studying the practice test and all the categories of the questions, you cut out all the filler that you don't need to know to pass the main test. Now, we get into the performance assessment at WGU. The performance assessment, now in the business courses and the teaching courses and a lot of the non-tech courses, basically, the non-tech degrees, the performance assessment most of the time is a writing assignment, and you can ace this writing assignment in a couple days if you have time to write. Usually if you go to the course resources, okay, I'm shocked that some people don't know that there is a template for every single writing assignment, okay? You go to the course resources and there's a template and you just fill out the template. You don't have to make a new Word document. There's a template for every single writing course. And then you fill out like it goes by the rubric, like I, 2, 3, like in Roman numerals, 3, 4, like you fill that out. So the evaluator knows what you're doing. And there's a template for every single thing. Basically, you would fill out the question and then you would delete the question after, but you keep like the Roman numeral, okay? And that makes it so much easier. It makes it easier for the evaluator and it makes it easier for yourself. Now, if it is not a writing assignment, also I'd like to say one more thing, okay? With the writing assignments, there's no failing, okay? If you don't think you wrote enough, you don't have to like keep writing a lot. You could turn it in and then if they can just send it back to you. There's no penalty. The only penalty is you get delayed a couple days, right? But if you really, if you're scared about failing, there's no failing. You can get it back like 3, 4 times and they just tell you to correct things. There's no failing. There's nothing to be scared of. The only thing to be scared of is wasting like 6 more days. But if you can just turn it in and there's no penalty, okay? Do not take that long on the writing assignments. Look at the rubric, okay? And if you feel like you answered a question on the rubric in 4 sentences, it's probably going to be fine, right? Don't think you have to write too much. Now, yes, if you wrote like 1 sentence for every answer, that's probably pushing your luck, okay? Work smarter, not harder, but don't abuse it too much, okay? So, I'd probably say at least 3 to 5 sentences every answer, probably like 1 full paragraph. But usually you can answer these questions in 1 full paragraph. Let's get to the projects and the tech degrees. So in the tech degrees, the best way to accelerate these are Reddit, okay? You will have the Java courses and other courses where it's like a programming project. The scripting and programming applications has a C++ project. You have the 2 Java courses, which both have projects, Advanced Java and Java, the mid-Java class. I'm forgetting the name of it currently. I think it's Java Fundamentals. But a lot of courses in the computer science degree and software engineering degree and other degrees that are in the tech degrees, they'll have projects that are like programming related. You're building something. There's the mobile one too, the mobile class. So basically go on Reddit, and usually you'll find at least one good Reddit thread where they fully explain how to pass it. Follow whatever they did. I'm not saying copy their project or anything, but follow whatever they did, okay? They are holding your hand. They're giving you advice. They're telling you the exact steps they took. And yeah, you could make a similar project too. You can make a similar project to them. Just do not copy them verbatim. And basically, you will find resources on Reddit on how to pass those technology projects. You can also find some great information in the WGU Facebook groups as well. Although I think the WGU Facebook groups are a little better for passing the tests quicker and passing the writing assignments quicker. Whereas Reddit is much better for having those project like exactly what people did on projects. So that is my advice to you, and it's also what I did. We have the video for today, guys. I hope I helped you in some type of way with this tutorial, and just kind of explaining every single step of the process from beginning your journey with ACE credits to accelerating courses at WGU and trying to get your bachelor degree in a year or less. So it is possible. There are many people that have done one term at WGU and graduated, some even without ACE credits. But if you really want to be safe and not pull your hair out trying to complete 120 credits in 6 months, I would highly recommend trying to transfer in as many ACE credit courses as possible. So once again, if you liked this video at all, please like, subscribe, or comment, or all three. When you do that, it sends the video to new people and the algorithm is happy, and it means a lot to me. So more people discover the channel, more people discover how to graduate college fast. You're not just helping out me, you're helping out other people discover how to hack college. So if you do one of those three things, like, comment, subscribe, it means a lot to me and somebody else will discover me. Also, guys, don't forget about the WGU Facebook groups that I mentioned earlier in this video. It would mean a lot to me if you join them or if you need them. So once again, guys, thank you, and please take care.